All right, boys and girls, today is chapter 7 of the Polar Bear Patrol. So here we go. That night, I dreamed I was in a refrigerator and it needed to be defrosted. I thought my dream had come true when I woke up stiff and cold, but then I saw Arnold sleeping beside me and it all came back. We were having a sleepover in an igloo. As soon as I smelled breakfast cooking, I scrambled out of my sleeping bag. Dr. Luke was cooking oatmeal over a stove. Miss Frizzle was adding dried apples and raisins to the pot. I helped make hot chocolate. By the time everyone was awake, breakfast was ready. You kids are in luck that I had enough oatmeal. I usually have fish for breakfast, Dr. Luke said. Fish for breakfast? Oh, oatmeal never tasted so good. After we finished breakfast, Dr. Luke asked me to go with him to check on the polar bear cub. We crawled out of the igloo and walked to the research station. How old do you think the cub is? I asked. Well, polar bears give birth between November and February, Dr. Luke said. And it's April now, so I guess that this cub is about 4 to 6 months old. When we went inside the research station, the cub was cuddled up in a ball in its pen. Come on, little fella, Dr. Luke said. We're going to take you back to your mother. And how will we ever find her? I asked. The street signs aren't so great around here. Miss Frizzle, thinks that she can retrace your tracks from yesterday, Dr. Luke explained. Today we'll start back to where the cub hitched a ride with you. The mother will probably stay in that area to search for her baby. We fed the cub again so he wouldn't get hungry during the ride. A short time later we packed up the dog sled. Bright Eyes was in the lead again. He licked my hand and flashed his eyes on and off as if he couldn't wait to get going. Luke stowed the bear cub in the supply sled again. We all climbed into the big sled. Mush! Everyone yelled. The sled took off, heading back to the cub's home territory. We flew across the smooth ice with Bright Eyes providing the dog power. A short time later, the sled climbed up an ice ridge. On the other side was an amazing sight. Hey, have we traveled back in time? Carlos asked. Those things look like woolly mammoths. Oh, I know what they are, Wanda said with excitement. They're my favorite Arctic animal, the musk oxen. Wanda's written a little report about her favorite animal. Musk oxen are big, shaggy animals that roam the tundra. They travel in herds of females and their young led by 1 or 2 strong males. The males fight over who will be the leader by butting their thick heads and horns against each other. The musk ox, long curved horns, keep away enemies. When a herd smells nearby wolves, all the musk oxen form a circle and face out. They lower their heads to show off their horns. The wolves trot away to wait for a sneak attack. They have a double layer of hair that keeps them warm. And look, there's a baby. The musk ox calf was cute for a musk ox, but it couldn't compare to my polar bear cub. Anybody hungry? Miss Frizzle called out. Yeah, what's for lunch? Arnold asked. We soon found out. Try to imagine what really, really cold peanut butter and jelly sandwiches taste like. Let me tell you, they take a long time to chew. While we ate, we stopped the sled close to the edge of the water so we could watch for whales. We spotted a killer whale and a walrus. These 2 huge Arctic animals are the only creatures a polar bear steers clear of. Time to pack up, kids, Miss Frizzle said. We've got a long trip ahead of us. I looked across the water. 2 young polar bears were on the icy shore. They were having a play fight. It looked like a professional wrestling match. I heard a whimper behind me. The polar bear cub was watching the males fight. He looked afraid, and I knew why. Male polar bears will kill cubs that get in their way. We really needed to get the little guy back to the safety of his mother. Dr. Luke picked up the reins and started to turn the sled around. Uh-oh, we heard him say, and soon we knew why. While we were eating, the ice beneath us had broken away from the mainland. We were floating in the Arctic Ocean on a piece of pack ice. Now what do we do? Arnold asked. Look around, Miss Frizzle said. This may be the only chance you get to hitch a free ride in the Arctic Ocean. I really hope so, Arnold mumbled. There's a little report here by Arnold called Go with the Flow. In the spring and summer, Arctic ice breaks up to create ice floes. Ice floes are huge pieces of ice that break off and float in the Arctic Sea. Polar bears often hop a ride on an ice floe to get to a new hunting ground. Tim, look over to the left, Dr. Luke called out. Those polar bears are saying hello. I looked over and I saw two bears walking around each other. We floated along for another hour, and then Ralphie let out a yell. Oh, we're going to crash! And seconds later, we crashed right into the land. Our ice floe ground to a halt. Miss Frizzle checked her global positioning system, a device that can pinpoint your location using satellites. Luke, we've landed close to where we found the cub, she said. The ice floe saved us some time. Let's get the sled over the top of this ridge, Luke said, and then we can start looking for the cub's mother. Bright Eyes and the team really had to pull to get the sled over the ridge. When we were done, Luke said that we should take a break to give the dogs a rest. Miss Frizzle, everybody, Keisha yelled, the weirdest thing is happening over here. We all turned to see what Keisha was talking about. She was pointing at a line of tiny brown animals that were running across the ice. D.A. told us they were lemmings. There were hundreds of them. No, thousands. Wow, what's going on? I asked. Where are they going in such a hurry? Well, they have no idea where they're going, Dr. Luke said. They're just following their instincts. It's one of the weirdest things in the animal world. That gives you something to think about, Miss Frizzle said. Don't always follow the crowd. I decided to check on the polar bear cub while everyone was watching the lemming parade. I walked away to have a good look at him, but when I got to the supply sled, I was in for a surprise. I lifted up the supply shed cover and the polar bear was gone. Tomorrow, Mrs. Moore will read Chapter 8. I wonder where the polar bear cub went.